So, now you had the full introduction to the course and know what you can expect and what you're gonna learn on this course. We also went through the full mindset part, where you could get a lot of tools to how to optimize your brain and how to optimize yourself for a winner mindset and be able to build a great company. We also went through a lot of the basic stuff regarding the tech industry and the SaaS companies. So you know a bit about what the different words mean now and what to expect within the SaaS industry. So next up, we're gonna teach you about the business parts. So let's say you're gonna build a business tomorrow, you get your VAT number and are ready to start. Now we need to have the business aspects in place. So we start off with talking about the full business model for your SaaS company. In SaaS, we have 4 different business models. We have the freemium business model, we have the subscription business model, we have the pay-as-you-go, and the usage-based business model. Everything I'm gonna dig into now. The first one I'm gonna cover is the freemium business model. Freemium business model is basically that you provide your service for free, in terms of that you have some top-up products that is gonna cost some money. So this is really normal, for example, Google Drive. You can easily use a certain amount of storage for free, but if you're gonna scale up and use more storage, it's gonna cost you. That's a freemium business model. So you onboard clients for free and then you upsell them the full product. It's really normal within SaaS. So the pros for this is it's really easy to get customer acquisition. It's easy to get people to sign up because they don't have to spend anything. They can just sign up for free. It also has a marketing effect that it's like word of mouth. People like to talk about free stuff. So there's much higher chance that your product will be recommended by some friends, etc., because it's free. If we look into the cons of having a freemium model, the most basic con would be that there's an issue regarding converting the freemium to the premium. You will have a lot of variable costs, and that's quite normal when you have the hosting, expenses, etc. So you want a certain amount of your clients to be premium and paying customers. You can easily run into a problem where you have too few people paying, and that's gonna be a huge problem for you. So the balance is everything. You need to have the perfect alignment regarding how many paying users you have and how many freemium. Otherwise, your operational costs just won't add up. The freemium model is a quite special one, and therefore it also has some sub-models as well. The first sub-model is the traditional freemium model. The traditional freemium model was what I explained earlier. That's basically that you have a full product and then you offer a freemium version with a lot of limitations. So for example, for a storage company in the cloud, that would be that you only have a certain amount of gigabyte to use. If you want more gigabyte, you need to pay the full subscription. A big problem with this traditional model is that a lot of people is not converting. So if you don't have the free users converting, you'll not be able to cover the expenses. And that's a big problem from your SaaS company. This freemium model is used by companies as Google Drive, iCloud, Dropbox, etc. The other sub-model is called land and expand. This is normally to sell into a specific user, and then when the user's organization reaches a specific level, they're gonna sell in to the organization itself, simply because they hit the limitations within that product. This is the business model companies like Slack or Yammer use. This is quite normal as well. The next one is freeware 2.0. Freeware is basically a freemium product that's free forever. So that's free for the client and the customer forever. It's mostly seen with a sub-product for bigger, large companies. A good example would be Google with the Google Sheet product. So Google Sheet, for example, is free forever and it's free for everyone. And it's owned by a bigger company like Google. But what is powering this product is normally that it can add on some special features for other large corporations. They're basically the one paying for the special features that is basically making this product right. Then we have alternative product strategy. This is offering a free product because you're hoping on selling another product. So I would not call it an add-on, but simply another service that you charge for. So this is also called the foot in the door. Like, you basically want to sign up a person for free to get the foot in the door, to get the relationship, and then you sell in another product from the side as an upsell. So this is used by companies like HubSpot, for example. HubSpot is a free CRM you can use as much as you want, but then they will always try to contact you regarding using their marketing services or other products they have. The last one is the ecosystem. The ecosystem is 100% free and it's 100% freemium, but there's a variable to it, and that is like, it's normally used in marketplaces such as App Store, Google Play Store, and AppSumo, etc. Basically what it does is that it's free to use the marketplace itself, it's free to upload your products on it, but as soon as like a person buys the product from the marketplace, they're gonna take a revenue share. So this is like a freemium with a revenue share kind of aspect, which is called ecosystem. The next business model is a subscription business model. What's really perfect about the subscription business model is that the client is going to pay you every single month. So if you sell a product for $100 a month, then you're gonna get $100 every month for each client. The pros for this is exactly what I just said, basically, that you don't need to work for new clients. Of course you do, but you will always have the remaining clients still. So in an agency, for example, where you sell to 10 people January, then you sell to 10 people February, and 10 people in March. That's like 10, 10, 10. But in SaaS, with the recurring subscription, you're gonna sell to 10. Next month you're gonna sell to 20. And the third month you have sold to 30. Because it's subscription, so you keep the you keep like your goals, you keep the whole infrastructure about the clients. You do not, of course you have unsubscribers, that's another aspect we will come into, but the beauty of the whole subscription is like, you start from where you were yesterday. You don't need to go out and hit a new goal. You will always have your old goal regarding the clients. So if you close 100 clients, those 100 clients will always also be there tomorrow. You'll not lose them, as you will in a lot of agency businesses. It's also really easy to have the upselling, as you have a high loyalty rate for these kind of clients. They're paying to you every single month, so they know who you are, they know your business. So it's really easy for them to, like, because of the loyalty aspects, to pay an upsell if you have another product, etc. Looking into the cons, we have the churn and the retainment. Sometimes, depending on the product, it can be really difficult to like maintain the clients. And if you have a high churn, it can also kill your business, because like you don't want too many people unsubscribing from the product. That also destroys your valuation completely. Another thing is that you're a bit vulnerable regarding that you expect a certain amount of revenue. So because you have the subscription model, certain amount of revenue will come into your bank account every single month. But that's an expectation, and those expectations can also be really dangerous, because like, let's say that you have 100 clients every single month that are paying you, so you're also scaling your marketing budget, you're scaling the other budgets, but if you just lose it, then you set yourself in a lot of different costs. So that's an issue, and that's a con with the subscription model. Next up, we have the usage-based pricing. This is basically where we take into account that the user pays for the usage. So this is quite normal in like some hosting companies. So you actually only pay for that amount you're using. The pros for using a usage-based business model is that it's probably the most fair model regarding like people is paying for what they're using. So it's really transparent regarding like, if you use this much, you're gonna pay this much. If you're gonna use this much, you're gonna pay this much. So it's really transparent. It's also really easy to get started for the startups, as there's no upfront fee. They just pay whenever the bill comes. So it's also really easy to like accumulate startups for this kind of phase. It also helps a lot regarding the higher volume clients. You have the clients that's using up a big amount of space. If you have a hosting company, for example, then you also want these clients to be able to pay for the space they're using. You could easily run into a logistic problem regarding that if you did the fixed pricing on a subscription, and your client is using way much hosting, then you're actually losing money on having this client. So that would be fixed if you had usage-based pricing. The cons for this is that it can easily misvalue your product. If we have a client that has a lot of API requests, his hosting cost can go through the roof with this pay-as-you-go, because if he's sending out 10k requests on the API, that's going to be a really tough bill for him, and he's probably going to look elsewhere for another hosting company. Another thing is it's also hard for the company to predict the pricing. Normally the companies that buys from you want to have something easy to look into, and it can get quite difficult for them. Of course you have the specific pricings, but a lot of companies doesn't know how many gigabytes they're using, etc. So it can be really hard for some companies to understand where the final pricing will end at. And then you can probably have some disadvantages on the loyalty if you're gonna say a different pricing, etc. The last thing is also for your own sake, like it's difficult for you to navigate and estimate how much revenue you will make because it's user-based. It's much easier if you have a fixed price to say like, okay, we need to close 100 clients to earn this amount of money. When it's usage-based, it's much more unpredictable. That can also be a problem for your marketing services. You're always welcome to mix and match all these different kind of business models and the SaaS basics I teach you previously, because like basically we're still just trying to figure out which model is the perfect one for you.